How is Donald Trump feeling as the jury begins their deliberations? Well, he's feeling a lot of things. So right after the judge finished giving instructions to the jury, Trump finally gets to leave the courtroom. He can't leave the courthouse. I guess he's still stuck there potentially for weeks, but he doesn't have to be in the courtroom. And normally what he would do is he would talk to the reporters for quite a while. We had a little bit of that earlier as he was going in. He totally he didn't take the opportunity, which he normally would. But he told the reporters there, Mother Teresa couldn't beat the charges. Well, first of all, Mother Teresa has not been accused of this. She's been accused of some things, do some Googling, but it's just like there are so many things that I think we have been, I don't even want to say fair in acknowledging, just rational in acknowledging. There are a lot of things that theoretically could lead to him not being found guilty, or if even that he's found guilty, that he won't go to prison. I would say it's probably a 60 to 80% chance that that isn't even found guilty necessarily, let alone goes to prison. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the Damage Report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you. So I don't know if this is an honest representation of how pessimistic he feels right now, or if this is a continued effort to just fire up his base. I don't know. He followed up the Mother Teresa thing by calling the judge again corrupt and conflicted. He complains that he would love to prove how the judge is corrupt and conflicted, but he can't because of the gag order, which I think is hilarious, because the gag order not only wouldn't stop you from demonstrating evidence of corruption. That's not what it's about at all. The gag order also doesn't protect the judge. Trump can talk about the judge literally all he wants. Does he think that we don't know what the gag order does? Can't testify, gag order, okay? Whoa, can't prove he's corrupt and conflicted, gag order. Sorry, Eric, can't talk on the phone, gag order. It doesn't actually stop those things. You just want it to. But I want to give you a little bit more feeling. I'm not even gonna read the whole things, but his social media activity has been deranged even for him. He's talking about, I didn't have a fixer, I had a lawyer. Okay, he's saying the gag order's unconstitutional. I don't know who he thinks that's gonna convince. His most recent thing, if you haven't been following his appearances in the media, is that he was not allowed to use the defense of counsel defense, I guess, which I'm not even sure how that would be a defense in this case, since he's asserting that none of this happened and he wasn't aware of it. I don't know how it could be a product of the defense of counsel or whatever. But more importantly, they could have used it. They declined to use it. His lawyers didn't want to use it. It has nothing to do with the gag order. It has nothing to do with the judge. That was a decision of your legal team. He also says he was complaining about the fact that they filibustered for 5 hours. He said it was boring as it was going on. It was a filibuster. It was 5 hours of bull ass. And look, I get that it's Trump. I get that I should know that. Can you imagine if Obama had faced charges and he's just whining, bull ass, filibuster, boring. Have some dignity in your final moments. You don't have that many more years and you haven't lived with any dignity. Could you fit in a little bit before the end? Maybe some people will falsely remember you actually being that way if you were to do that. What do you think, Sharon?
Yeah, he doesn't have any, and he's not going to do that. And to think that, even when his children were there during the closing arguments, not Ivanka, of course, his favorite daughter-in-law. Where's Kimberly Guilfoyle, by the way? I haven't seen her in a long time. Maybe she's not, permitted to sit with the family anymore. But this is who he is. He was closing his eyes. He was glaring at the judge again. He was, they said he had his head kind of cocked back and just kind of lazily like that. Anything he could do to show disrespect, he did it. Also complaining that, why did they get 5 hours? It's unfair. There was no time limit.
Yeah.
People were upset about it. They said, why didn't the judge impose a time limit on both sides? That's all. There's nothing more that your lawyer could have said. It's over. That's a wrap. End scene. Okay, that's done.
Yeah, his lawyer could have talked for 2 more hours. What were they gonna say? What? They brought 2 witnesses. There was really no case. Their case was Michael Cohen's a liar.
Oh,
That's what they have. I'm shocked it took him 3 hours to say that.
Yeah.
So again, Trump is just like, this isn't a Trump derangement syndrome thing to point out that Trump either doesn't understand anything about this trial, about his own defense, about how trials work, or he's just lying. And again, it doesn't really matter to me. I already think he's a liar and I think he's a moron. I don't care which it is. But if you're a MAGA person, there's no good out from this. Why is he so stupid and why doesn't it bother you? Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.